Talk about a bird stare. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while, and I wanted to update you guys on a whole bunch of things. So much, in fact, that I don't think we will be able to cover all of that in this video. I will say that my competitive bodybuilding season has been over for quite a while. We've been working on getting better, on making improvements, and working towards our next competitive bodybuilding season. However, that's not to say that, of course, we're not bodybuilding right now. For those of you who are pretty well informed on this, subject, the work starts now. And even though I don't know when I will compete again, I do know that I guess what I do affects my tomorrow. And it's important that we don't waste time, because before you know it, you are 10, 12 weeks out from your next show, and you're wishing that you might have done something a bit differently. And that's just not a good position to be in. So what we're doing, and of course taking what we learned last offseason, taking what we learned during the prep, and we're applying it to how we approach this offseason. And of course, I will kind of go through, I guess, some of the more memorable highs and lows of my last contest prep. And like any athlete, I think regardless of how well the season went on paper, there's always things that are like, we could have done this a bit better. And that's definitely the case. And I think you're definitely going to see that in our plan, which is back there. I use that board again. So I won't make this any longer in regards to just me blabbering about a whole lot of nothing. Let's just show you guys what it is that we're going to be working with over the course of the next few weeks. Where do we go? And this is the off-season plan. We will talk about training. Let's start with this part. We'll save this as the main event. I love talking about training a whole lot more than I like talking about eating. So we'll save the best for last, but we'll start with the whole feeding frenzy. And these are my macros, my macronutrient ranges. And as you can see, 60 to 80 fat, 500 to 625 carbs, 220 to 250 protein. I just read those for you guys, even though I'm sure you could have done that on your own. But those are the macros, and quite the contrast, right? On the low end, if we hit everything on the low end, 3,400 calories, and on the other end, 4,100 calories. Might seem like quite the contrast to you guys, but the truth is, I just like to work with ranges. And even with most of my athletes, that's how we like to do things. I like to work with ranges because it takes a certain set of macronutrients off the pedestal. And then also, to some degree, we like to talk about being flexible and flexible dieting. But the thing is, I think regardless of your food sources, your meal timing and all that, one thing that being condemned to hitting 3 very specific quantities of fat, carbs, and protein is that it kind of takes you away from your eater's intuition. And what I mean by that is we kind of lose touch with all the things that I think in the long run are just going to make us a better bodybuilder. More on that at some point, some other video. But again, I'm never really going to be on the low end, never really going to be on the high end. Most of the time I will be floating in the middle. Maybe the only time I'll be on this side is if maybe I'm just extra sedentary, a lot of office work. My training cycle maybe isn't so brutal at that point in time, or maybe I just overindulged over the weekend, which I do sometimes. And then you'll see me mostly, probably hanging on a little bit on this side, and then the other way around, perhaps maybe I'm losing weight, which I don't want right now, and maybe I'm under recovered, or maybe I'm just hungry, like truly hungry. I'll kind of hang around this side a bit more. So I like the flexibility, and to me this truly is what flexible dieting is kind of getting reacquainted with that intuition. When are we hungry? When are we under recovered? All that stuff. And again, very broad, but at this point, I think I've been doing it long enough to the point where, even though there's a lot of choices here in regards to where we land, I do a pretty good job of making sure that what I do is conducive to my long-term goals. Okay. Weight, as of right now, we're 170 to 173, so that's about anywhere from 7 to 10 pounds over contest weight, and the goal is to get over here, and we're slowly but surely going to be gaining over the course of the next few weeks, next few months, and what are we going to do with all this food and this weight gain? Well, we're going to apply it to this over here. So this is my off-season plan, my training plan. And the split that I had the most most earned success with was my upper-lower split. And I think the best way to, I guess, justify why I use such insane frequency, as you can see, we have, it's an upper-lower split, and this is just a typical week. For example, we're hitting upper body 3 times this week, lower body 2 times this week, and it's just basically you're rotating your upper and lower half, basically from day to day. And then to me, the main reason this worked so well is because, I have been doing this for quite a long time. I first walked into a gym in 1999. That's going on 15 years now. And I do require quite a bit of volume in order to progress at this point. And I have found that higher frequency splits, to some degree, let me really reach the amount of volume I require to progress, but they also let me, I guess, it lets me keep the quality of the work high. So if for example on my upper body day I really only have 7 sets for chest, 6 sets for chest, it's a whole lot easier than combining the 17, 20 sets of chest that I have for the whole week. So again, the quality of my work's a lot better, and it's just a more practical way to fit in all that volume. And this is kind of the breakdown of how it goes. So as you can see, we're really going to prioritize our volume days, that's for sure. So week 1, as an example, is going to go something like this. It's going to be an upper body day, and typically our rep ranges, so the V's for volume, it's going to be found in the 7 to 15 rep range, then followed up by a strength lower body day where we will dip down primarily in the main movements, which we will go over later as in a second here. So the lower end of the rep range, that's for most of the compounds we'll be kind of roaming at. So we have on volume days we go as low as 7, or we start at 7. Strength days, we'll go as low as 3 on the reps, and then again volume again, just 2 days afterwards at 9 reps, 9 to 15, and then we have a kind of a hybrid day where we're using a lot of strength and volume, and that's going to take place towards the end of the week. Not all that exciting, but this is really what I think helped me make that last push during the last half of 2013, before I actually started my diet. Was a split that was somewhat put together like this. Deloads will be, and again, so on this week things get hit 3 times a week, or upper body gets hit 3 times a week, and then the next week we will swap things around, and we will start with a lower body day, and lower body gets hit 3 times, upper body twice. Deloads will happen every 4th week. I think this really keeps me from not just plateauing, but also it keeps me healthy. So right around the 4th week, we will deload a bit, and both volume and loads will go down just ever so slightly as we prepare for the next 3 weeks, which of course I titled this Overtrain or Remain the Same. So we go hard for 3 weeks and then kind of slow down the pace and then go for it again. My primary movers are going to be the bench, the infamous seal row, also known as the bench row. Front squat for the time being. I will eventually go back to a back squat, but until I get this this hip thing, which has been bothering me the last 4 weeks or so, we will go with the front squat. And for, I guess, reasons that I discussed with 3D Muscle Journey coach Eric Helms, we will go with the snatch grip deadlift as opposed to the conventional or the sumo, at least for right now. We were planning on using a Romanian, but I think right now a snatch grip deadlift is going to do the job, and we will go over this as I start recording my training sessions. Priority this off season is going to be back and hams. I think while arms definitely do lack, I think these ones are the ones that win shows, and smaller arms are, they can be forgiven if you have a posterior chain that really stands out. And again, I think these two are just by far the things that really need to improve. Primarily hamstrings. I think hamstrings, when I look at my hamstrings compared to some of the best in the sport, they leave so much to be desired. So this is the plan. This is what we're going to go with, and we will start our recording next Monday. And as soon as I'm done with that training session, I will come down here to my desk, and this is actually the plan. I was actually typing this up earlier today, and this is where the magic will happen. I'll get that all pre-packaged and ready to go for you guys. And again, thank you very much for just all the patience, all the support, and hopefully I can lead by example this off season. So it starts in a few days here. So thank you.